Hi there, it's Metaverse Zing. Welcome back to the channel. The stress test for Queens starts today with Jackson Heights and Woodside neighborhoods opening up. The rest of Queens will open up tomorrow, that is on Wednesday. In this video, I'll share the list of neighborhoods and streets I have my eyes on. I feel could probably become a collection or at least will sell well in the future. Talking about neighborhoods, I'm compelled to start my analysis with Jackson Heights and Woodside as both of these neighborhoods are very popular in Queens. I've been reading up about Queens for a while now. Have been watching a lot of travel videos as well. Jackson Heights and Woodside are always getting mentioned. First, talking about Jackson Heights, what I like about Jackson Heights is it has an ethnically diverse community with half the population having been foreign born since the 2000s. Talking about diversity, 56% of the population is Hispanic or Latino, 22% are Asians, and the rest are mainly American. This is reflected in the food as well, as you get food from all kinds of nations. There are restaurants for Indian food, Mexican food, Colombian food, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Nepalese, Middle Eastern, Greek, etc. Another reason why I feel Jackson Heights could be a collection is much of the neighborhood is part of National Historic District, which means it has a historical significance to it. Now focusing my attention on Woodside. Woodside again is a very diverse neighborhood, but I kind of feel that Jackson Heights might overshadow it, and if there's only one collection, Jackson Heights is going to be one. Anyway, for today's launch, I'll mainly be focusing on Jackson Heights. Even within Jackson Heights, I'll first try to get something along the lines of Roosevelt Avenue, as well as the Northern Boulevard, which is this blue line. If I don't get something there, I might try to quickly find and get something within this. As you notice, both Jackson Heights as well as Woodside will have a lot of marked properties. If I just randomly zoom in here, marked. That's the idea. If I don't get anything good along Roosevelt Avenue and Northern Boulevard, I might focus my attention to Woodside, and I'll try to mint something along these roads. Also, along the Queens Boulevard. That will be all from me today. Again, I would want to mint at least 2 or 3 properties in these areas so that for tomorrow's launch, I can send my Block Explorer to a desired direction somehow. That's all for today's release. For tomorrow's release, that is the entire Queens, I'll be focusing on the following neighborhoods. Number 1, Flushing Meadows Corona Park, or Flushing Meadows. It's just next to Jackson Heights and Corona. This is a really interesting neighborhood as it has many important buildings. For example, Citi Field, home of New York Mets, a baseball stadium, National Tennis Center, and if I just randomly zoom in somewhere here, you'll see Queens Theater, Queens Museum of Art, Queens Zoo, New York Hall of Science, the Grandstand, etc. So yes, this will be my number 1 target. Although I'm a little skeptical whether this will have any properties because most of it looks green and blue, so they may not. If there are any properties, these will be my number 1 target, and I'm pretty sure it will be for many more of us. So yeah, it will be very competitive, and I'm ready to accept that I might not get anything here. Number 2, Flushing. It's the neighborhood just next to Flushing Meadows. It's a very important neighborhood in Queens, kind of like the Chinatown of Manhattan. It is a center of commerce, transportation, and finance, and hence deserves to be a collection. Since the neighborhood is a little big, you can compare the size. It may just be a limited collection, the purple one, but yes, it has to be one. Also, the list of landmarks shared by Upland had a few properties from Flushing, so I'm pretty sure there's something going on there. Number 3, Astoria. It's again a very diverse neighborhood. As per a 2015 report, there are people from about 100 countries residing here. Beside the cultural diversity, this neighborhood has a lot of cool places to see. For example, Kaufman Astoria Studios, Museum of the Moving Image, Noguchi Museum, Socrates Sculpture Park, Astoria Park, the oldest beer garden, etc. If this doesn't become a collection, I don't know what will. Number 4, Long Island City. Long Island City is another residential and commercial neighborhood in Queens, kind of like an important one. It has many factories, headquarters of some big companies, many historic landmarks, including the famous Pepsi Cola sign, and many film studios. By the way, I feel film studios in itself can become an ultra rare collection, so keep an eye on that. Another thing about Long Island City is it's so close to Manhattan that you can actually enjoy the Manhattan skyline from here. Another thing, there's this Queensboro Bridge which connects Queens to Manhattan in Long Island City. So maybe someday when we'll have cars, you can just travel from Queens to Manhattan using this bridge. A little trivia, if you're a Friends fan, you would remember Rachel was from Long Island. So this deserves to be a collection, at least for Rachel's family, right? Number 5, Jamaica and Jamaica Estates. Jamaica is another important neighborhood in Queens. It's composed of large commercial and retail areas. It's also where the Queens terminals are. So while it should be a collection, even if it's not, it'll still be a popular and expensive place. On the other hand, Jamaica Estates is kind of like the Bel Airs of Queens. It's more of an elite neighborhood with multi-million-dollar homes. Since it's not too big, it might become a collection, although I have higher hopes from Jamaica. Number 6, Rockaway Beach. It's very popular for surfing and scuba diving. I couldn't find anything historical about it, but still, people love this neighborhood. They come from all over the city to surf here, to hang out. And there's this beach channel drive, which tourists seem to love. So I think if I have to get something here, I would want something along the beach channel drive or any waterfront property. Yeah, that will be my goals for neighborhoods. Next up, streets. Number 1, Main Street. Let me just open Main Streets. Next up, streets. Number 1. Next up, streets. Number 1, Main Street. Let me just open Main Street once. Main Street is a popular street in Queens. People have been talking about it already. If given a chance, I would love to get something here. The only reason why I'll be hesitant is because in Brooklyn, there's a collection, an ultra rare collection from Main Street. Although that's a different thing, but Upland might not want to repeat names, so that'll be it. But again, I don't want to take my chances, so I'll definitely buy something here. Where we are. Yeah, here we go. Number 2, Roosevelt Avenue. It's named after the US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Good Magazine had called it one of America's tastiest streets, with a lot of food vendors on it. It also has a night market, so sounds like an important place, important street to be on. I'll try to buy something along Roosevelt Avenue on day 1. Number 3, maybe Queens Boulevard. It runs from northwest to southeast. It's the longest road in Queens at 12.1 kilometers or 7.5 miles. It covers almost half the length of Queens. Now some notable mentions. I'll also try to get something on Northern Boulevard. It's a really long road. I think it starts here. It goes all the way here. So my target would be to get something on Northern Boulevard in today's release of Jackson Heights and Woodside. Number 2, Beach Channel Drive. We've already covered that. I'll try to get something along Beach Channel Drive here. Not sure if it's gonna be a collection, but sounds like people love it. Besides Northern Boulevard and Beach Channel Drive, I'll also be targeting Jamaica Avenue, it's this one, and Liberty Avenue, and also Grand Street and Grand Avenue. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, Grand Street, which eventually becomes Grand Avenue. So these are my notable mentions for streets. Among the neighborhoods, while I think these probably won't be collections, but I'll still be interested in them. Number 1, LaGuardia Airport. If there are properties, I would love to be there. Someday, if Upland decides to add another airport to Queens, yes, I would want to be a part of it already. Number 2, Howard Beach. Probably not going to be a collection, but still a beautiful place. I'll see if I can get any of the waterfront properties here. That will be nice. Maybe someday Upland releases boats and I have a place to park them. Then I'll also focus on Maspeth for the historical reasons. Also Broad Channel. This is Broad Channel for the awesomeness. I would love to be a part of this island. If I can get something here, that'll be nice. Number 5, Forest Park. Would also love to get something in Forest Park because it's gonna be very limited. I think with a lot of green space, there won't be a lot of properties here. Even if there are 10 or 15 properties, if I can get my hands on it, that'll be great. Lastly, I'll try to make double collection properties as much as I can. For example, Flushing and Main Street, and Jackson Heights and Roosevelt Avenue. So that will be my target. Well, that's all. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments. I'll definitely reply. Thanks again for watching. Bye.